Hi everyone, today we are actually going to start in a standing straddle position, coming to our feet. Gonna widen our stance out as far as feels comfortable, keeping the toes forward. We're gonna push our hands to our hips, and we're gonna slowly start to lower our spine to the left side of our body, extending forward over the mat to the right side of our body and coming back to center. Inhaling, exhaling. A couple more times here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Next, we're going to place our hands down by our side and do some side stretching, placing our left hand over our head, extending to the right side, sliding that right arm down the side of the leg. Maybe gazing towards your hand, coming back to center, extending the right arm over the head, and extending to the left side, sliding that left hand down your leg, raising your gaze towards your right hand. Coming back to center, bringing our toes, walking them forward toward the center of our mat. We're going to do an overhead stretch over the head, hands to heart center, holding here, coming down to a forward fold, maybe releasing those hands, grabbing them, rocking side to side. Hands all the way up, down to heart center. We're gonna lift this right leg and hug the knee towards the chest, really focusing on our balance and our breath. Coming down, grabbing the left knee, hugging it towards the chest, inhaling, exhaling. If you tend to wobble here, it's okay to maybe come down and up for a dynamic stretch so you're not on one foot for too long. Either way, holding here. We're going to come down to our mat, and we're going to come into a plank pose. Holding here, stacking the shoulders over the hands, coming down to tabletop position, doing some knee to nose crunches, or just holding tabletop is fine. Bringing that right knee to your nose and back, left knee to the nose and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into tabletop, doing one cat-cow, hollowing out the back, gazing the chin down, lowering the belly, raising your gaze. Going in, sitting on our heels, we're going to find thunderbolt position, raising our chest, maybe extending our hands out and circling the wrists, releasing any tension from your wrists. Placing our hands on our mat, we're going to tuck the toes and go into a down-facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, relaxing the head towards our mat. We're going to bring our right leg forward into a low lunge, really stacking that knee over the foot and placing the right hand on the inside. We're going to come up for a twist, raising our gaze towards our hand and down, coming up for another twist, raising our gaze towards that hand and down. One more, twisting up and lowering down. Holding here, we're going to lift that right leg, extending it all the way to the back of our mat, turning the left foot out, coming onto our side for a side plank, holding here, or maybe hovering that right leg and extending our arm over our head, raising our gaze towards that right hand. Holding here for a few breaths, really feeling those hip muscles working as we hold this position. Coming back down into tabletop position, we're going to lower to our belly, pressing our palms into the mat, coming up to cobra pose, lowering the chest and the chin, coming up again to cobra pose, puffing out the chest, extending the head, coming back down onto our mat, tucking our toes. We're going to push all the way up into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here for a couple of breaths. Inhale and exhale. This time taking our left foot forward through the middle of our hands, coming into a low lunge, planting that inside hand towards the foot, extending that left arm over the head, gazing at the hand, and planting it back towards our mat, lifting it over the head again, gazing towards your hand, lowering toward the mat. One time more, extending the arm up for a twist and lowering it back to the mat, holding this deep lunge. We're going to take our left foot all the way through, straightening it on the back side of our mat and turning our right foot out, coming onto a side plank. Again, either holding here or hovering that left leg and extending the arm across the body. Maybe turning our gaze up towards that hand and holding here for a couple of breaths. Coming back down to center. We're going to come forward into a seated position, all the way back into corpse pose. Taking a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to slowly bring our knees up to center, extending our legs, maybe straddling here and holding child's pose or happy baby pose, or coming up and doing a few straddle crunches, hovering the hands between the legs, lifting the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing into a nice hug of the knees. Bringing the knees back down and lifting our hips for supported bridge. Or, if you feel comfortable, planting the hands towards the head into full bridge pose, stretching out the back, taking a few deep breaths in this stretch, coming back down, hugging the knees once more, grabbing the toes outside of the foot into happy baby. Breathing, inhale and exhale. Releasing your feet. Slowly coming up to a seated position. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. I wish you gratitude and success towards your practice. Namaste.